Hey, welcome to Anecdope, where I piece together dope stories about hip-hop legends. As a lyricist, Will Smith hasn't always been taken that seriously by the hip-hop community. Ever since Will started prioritizing acting over music, people have speculated that he may have ghostwriters. But in Will's case, these rumored ghostwriters aren't just some talented underground cats that you've never heard of. They're said to be two of the greatest MCs of all time, Rakim and Nas. So could it be that two of Will Smith's biggest hits were in fact penned by two of the GOATs? Let's find out. Okay, it's May of 1991 and The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is nearing the end of its first season. In between filming the sitcom, Will and DJ Jazzy Jeff are getting ready to release their new album, Home Base. In a genius marketing move, they convinced the executives at NBC to premiere the music video for their single Summertime at the end of a Fresh Prince episode.
Drums, please!
Millions of people tune into NBC and Summertime becomes an instant hit. But avid hip-hop fans pick up on something a little strange. For some reason, on this particular track, Will Smith sounds a lot more like Rakim than the Fresh Prince.
Here it is, a groove slightly transformed, just a bit of a break from the norm.
It's so obvious that it's your style.
Yeah.
And these days people don't have a style that's so
a groove slightly transformed.
That last part was the Hot 97 crew rapping Will's lyrics back to Rakim a few years ago. But it wasn't just radio personalities and fans that noticed. Even a lot of other rappers were suspicious that Rakim had written the lyrics. Snoop was one of them. Here he is confronting Will about it directly.
Then I heard the fucking song Summertime, right? And I'm listening. My ears say either Rakim wrote that song or either you and Rakim had a meeting or something.
So the million-dollar question, did Rakim write Summertime or not? Here's the official answer straight from the horse's mouth.
There was always the rumor that you got wrote Summertime for Will Smith. Like, that sounded just like you.
Yeah, nah, Will owe me for that. He stole that.
He definitely stole the flow, at least. The flow and the delivery.
Yeah, word up.
But you didn't write that?
Nah, not at all.
Okay, so the R didn't write it, but claims that Will stole his style. Could it be that Will was trying to sound like Rakim?
Absolutely, without question, I was trying to sound like Rakim, right?
Okay, whatever you think of Will Smith as an MC, you have to appreciate this man's sense of humor. Here's Will on how his Rakim impersonation came about.
I wrote it from top to bottom, just how it is. But then I went back to try to lay it, and my voice, because I had been out partying all night, I couldn't get my higher voice. And the only way that I could get my voice out is I had to be down in there. So I was like, here it is, a groove, like the transform. But it was strictly because my voice was blown out. And then while I was doing it, I was like, oh, I sound like the R. I sound like the R.
The R himself didn't see the funny side when he first heard Summertime on the radio.
I'm riding through New York, flicking through the radio stations. So I flashed through, I hear him rhyme. I'm like, oh, and I changed the channel. I was like, oh shit, that was me. Flip that shit back. You get a feeling like, yo, somebody just robbed you, point blank in front of everybody.
These days, Rakim's a bit more relaxed about it, and he says he takes it as a compliment when somebody bites his style. He does, however, feel entitled to a royalty check.
And I used to play with people too. They used to be like, yo, Rod, did you write that for Will? I was like, yeah, Will, you still owe me money, man. Still ain't get paid, man.
At least for delivery and flow.
You know what I mean?
All right, now let's fast forward to another song in Will Smith's catalog said to have been ghostwritten by Nas. This is one of those rumors that never fails to make people's jaws drop.
Letting Nas right getting jiggy with it?
Yeah, I heard that.
You know what I'm saying?
I think I was.
What?
It's very secretive.
What?
Yeah, it's hard, right?
That's right. Getting jiggy with it. Will Smith's global hit from 1997 is said to have been co-written by the same man that gave the world Illmatic.
On your mark, ready, set, let's go. Dance floor pro, I know, you know, I go psycho.
When he was asked about it directly in 2014, Nas played down his contributions to the song. Quote, I hung out with Will in the studio and watched him write it. It was a fun studio session, and I said a line or two or three to him. It wasn't that serious. Will Smith wrote that song. That studio session came about because Will and Nas were both signed to the same label, Sony, around this time, and they also shared a management team. They were both signed by Steve Stout, who recently shared how he got a reluctant Nas to help out with Will's album.
Nas actually wrote part of Getting Jiggy with it. Will had a couple people write for him, but when we needed to really finish that thing up, we brought Nas, and he'd write some of it, then he'd hate himself, and then he'd keep writing. Like, Nas, you know, there's like, Nas is like publishing money involved in this. This is like a real thing. Like, just don't listen to the Getting Jiggy with it part. Just write the rest.
If you check the liner notes to Will Smith's 1997 album Big Willie Style, you'll find that Nas has writing credits on 2 tracks, as well as on Just Cruisin' off of the Men in Black soundtrack. Nas seems to be a little bit shy about his ghostwriting work, either out of respect for his friend Will Smith or because he's a little bit embarrassed. Let me know which of the two you guys think it is in the comment section below. Personally, I think he should own it and take a page out of Jay-Z's ghostwriting book. Back in the 90s, Hov ghostwrote a song on the Space Jam soundtrack for none other than, wait for it, Bugs Bunny. Unlike Nas, Jay-Z seems to be more comfortable with his ghostwriting past, and he can now laugh about it.
Jay wrote the lyrics for Bugs on that. Do you remember doing that, by the way?
Yeah, definitely, yeah. Yeah, and I was in Sony Studios.
Really?
Acting like a rabbit.
Man, I wish there were footage of that particular recording session. I would love to see Hov doing his Bugs Bunny impression. All right, thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Hit the subscribe button because there are more on the way. And the next one stars the Old Dirty Bastard. So you know things are gonna get kind of crazy, kind of wild. Trust me, you do not want to miss this one. I'll see you next time. Peace.